The pregnant girl knocked on the door of the man's house. The man was shocked when he saw her, and the girl pretended to be relaxed. Looking at his bulging belly, the man suddenly put a smile on his face, but he didn't ask much, just took the girl into the room and made her food. When the hot food was served, the girl said her request, hoping to stay at his house for a while. Although the man agreed, he also made a condition. It was so simple, the girl agreed without thinking. Just like when the man suddenly broke into her house, the girl also broke into the man's house and settled down. Many years ago, the girl Charlotte just wanted to get up and have breakfast, but she found a stranger black man frying eggs in her own kitchen. Looking at the uninvited guest in front of her, Charlotte rushed back to the room and woke up her sleeping mother. But the mother was not surprised at all, and smiled and told her. Obviously, the mother knew Mr. Church would come, but Charlotte didn't like this cook at all, because the employer was Charlotte's bad father, who never showed up and didn't want to be mentioned. Many years ago, the mother and father fell in love, but later found that the other party was already married. Even though she was pregnant, the mother still ended this relationship and raised Charlotte alone until now. Although the mother still loved her father deeply at that time, and now her father is ill before he died, he just found a cook to take care of her mother and daughter, so Charlotte didn't have a good face. Facing Mr. Church's delicately made steak omelette, Charlotte insisted on eating vegetarian food, which made Mr. Church a little embarrassed. Seeing that the mother was persuading her, Charlotte jumped off the table directly to protest. Charlotte hated everything about her father, so she didn't want to compromise no matter what. Even on her way to school, she kept asking when Mr. Church would leave. In the past, every morning, her mother drank coffee, and she only needed to sell. So a cook is definitely an unnecessary existence, even though it was her father's last wish. Charlotte said something very outrageous, but her mother did not blame her, saying that Mr. Church would leave soon. Charlotte knew it was hard to stay angry because her mother was too kind and beautiful. She once wanted to find a more beautiful woman than her mother, but she never found one. Whether it was before or after, what Charlotte didn't know was that Mr. Church would come because her mother had an accident. Charlotte's father kept his promise. As long as Mr. Church finished his 6-month job, he could get a lifelong reward. Although the time may be only half a year, Mr. Church still wanted to do his best. So after checking the kitchen items, he was going to the supermarket to buy the ingredients needed for cooking. He refused the banknotes from Marley because Charlotte's father gave him an account that contained all the costs of buying vegetables. But Marley still gave Mr. Church some discount coupons and hoped that he would not reveal his illness to Charlotte. And then went to the supermarket to buy. He used the discount coupons to save $6 in the account. And these seemingly inconsiderate discounts would play a role beyond their own value at the critical moment. At the same time in the school, Charlotte, who was annoyed by Mr. Church's arrival, was watching her favorite boy playing basketball. Although it was not the age when love began, in Charlotte's eyes, Owen was already the most handsome boy. But the sense of inferiority made Charlotte dare not show her love for Owen. Compared to her carefulness, her best friend Bobby is much more straightforward. They are all the few poor students, so they became best friends. Knowing that Charlotte's family has a lot of cooks, Bobby thought he should accept it. After all, it's not a bad thing to have a lot of helpers. Fortunately, although they are all poor students, Charlotte did not learn badly because of her mother's existence. Every day, she successfully taught Charlotte how to get off the bus. Lawson is Charlotte's most special friend. Lawson was forced to take public transportation for the rest of his life because only a week after he got his driver's license, there was a car accident. A couple of 4-year-olds died on the spot. Lawson was sentenced to 3 years in prison. After being released from prison, his whole life is like hell. But Charlotte knows Lawson is a kind person. They often chat in the car. As the bus arrives at the station, Charlotte is happiest every day because she can see her mother picking her up and the most tender words. It's just that when Charlotte returned home, she found that Mr. Church not only did not leave, but also made a bookshelf, indicating that if Charlotte wants to see it, she has to register. Like a library, the mother can take it, and the mother and Mr. Church sing and dance. Charlotte can only rush back to the room. At night, the mother gave Charlotte a card. That is a borrowed book card made by Mr. Church himself. But Charlotte didn't even take a look and tore it directly into two halves. The way children express emotions is always so direct. But soon Charlotte regretted because Mr. Church's craftsmanship was too advanced. In the blink of an eye, Charlotte was finally in front of Mr. Church, with a smile that was hard to resist. Her bestie was impatient and begged Charlotte to take her home to taste more delicious food, and didn't hesitate to praise her. For Charlotte's previous rudeness, Mr. Church not only forgot the past, but also put a lot of beautiful images under the pen. Every day, when everyone is still asleep, Mr. Church will appear in the kitchen early. The smell of cooking is like Charlotte's alarm clock. Anything you want to eat or you don't know what you want to eat, Mr. Church can do it. Until you taste these delicacies, Charlotte has never seen Mr. Church use a pair of chopsticks or any other tools. Only her hands and a knife. Observed how Mr. Church cooked. It became the first thing Charlotte woke up every day. Sometimes Charlotte will hide on the balcony and watch Mr. Church buy food. But in a few hours, she will be back. This means that the next delicious meal will come again. The longer you get along, Mr. Church is no longer just a chef. When there is any accident, he will always protect the two of them. Sometimes it's even more like a father and a husband, listening to Mr. Church and her mother discussing the story in the book. That night, Charlotte finally had the courage to call Mr. Church, who was about to go out. Looking at the new borrowed book card, Mr. Church couldn't help but smile. He found a book called 3 Gunmen among many books and recommended it to Charlotte. In the next few days, Charlotte was stuck in the ocean of books. From A Promise to Little House on the Prairie, and from Shuangchengji to The Old Man and the Sea, she fell in love with reading without realizing it. The small borrowed book card was already filled with different books. 6 years have passed. Not only did Charlotte grow up to be a beautiful girl, but even her mother created a medical miracle and extended the original 6-month period to 6 years. What is worth being happy about is that Mr. Church did not choose to leave because he was overpaid. Instead, he used the salary he got to continue taking care of the mother and daughter. When Charlotte was bathing her mother at night, she told her that a boy invited her to a graduation party during the day. But due to family reasons, she was always self-abased and did not agree. When her mother learned of this, she encouraged her to face her emotions and future bravely, and not give up on the difficulties she faced. Then she found Mr. Church and asked him to help design a set of gowns for the party. On the night of the graduation party, Charlotte walked out of the room. Her warm and calm appearance was like a fairy. When her mother saw her change, she was full of joy. Her daughter's growth and confidence were what she wanted to see the most in the past 6 years. In order to record this beautiful moment, Mr. Church proposed to take a picture, but the two insisted that Mr. Church also join in. The three had the only family photo. Not long after, Charlotte's boyfriend came to the door. Mr. Church gave Charlotte to the other person. After the two left, her mother also invited Mr. Church to dance together. But unfortunately, due to the mother's health, the relationship between the two could only end here. Fortunately, at the graduation party on the other side, it was completely different. Under the shining light, the two opened their hearts to each other and enjoyed the beauty of youth. Back home, Charlotte and her mother shared the highlights of the party and the joy that could not be hidden in her mouth. The next day, Charlotte went to school as usual. But when she came back, she accidentally found that Mr. Church was waiting for her at the bus station with a serious face. Charlotte suddenly realized that she had no mother from this moment on. She raised her head and looked at Mr. Church. Her lips trembled slightly, as if she wanted to say something, but she was choked by sorrow. A hand gently touched her hair like a father, and gave her the warmest comfort. At the party, all the relatives and friends comforted Charlotte and made her feel sorry. Only Mr. Church said nothing. He just gave her an encouraging look. Charlotte found that Mr. Church was still crying. In a quiet place. That was Charlotte's first time in her life. It was also the only time she saw Mr. Church crying. Mr. Church gave Charlotte an envelope. It was full of money that Mr. Church had carefully saved over the years, and the money he saved from her mother's vouchers. This was enough for Charlotte to go to Boston University to study and run away to a new life. The school is far from home, so she decided to learn how to drive. Lassen became Charlotte's first choice, Although Lassen carried the shadow of a past involving driving, he was very patient and gentle. Under Lassen's guidance, Charlotte got her driver's license. Lassen didn't know what to do next. They walked toward the crossroads of life. Her best friend became a costume designer and wanted everyone to pray for her. And Charlotte wanted to be a writer. Suddenly, Charlotte saw Mr. Church at a bar. At this moment, she wanted to know everything about Mr. Church, more than ever. She wanted to ask about the bar, because she had heard rumors that no woman ever went there. Her mother had left, and she was about to go to college. Charlotte was very worried about Mr. Church. She wanted to know whether Mr. Church was living a happy life, and whether there was someone he loved. But at that moment, Charlotte's boyfriend suddenly appeared and stopped her. This made Charlotte unable to continue following Mr. Church. Her boyfriend was curious if he had done something wrong. Because ever since Charlotte's mother passed, she had almost ignored him. Finally, her boyfriend gave Charlotte the kiss from that night. But their story didn't start yet, and it had already ended. In fact, Charlotte's boyfriend came to say goodbye to her that night. He was going to study in a foreign country the next day, and he didn't know when he would see her again. Charlotte urged him to achieve something in the future. On her last night before leaving, Mr. Church didn't cook. Instead, they went to a restaurant together. They ordered an apple cake without even planning it. It tasted like there was sugar in the apple, just like the first time they met. When it was time to truly say goodbye, neither of them said anything. There was only a tight hug that showed their reluctance. Watching Charlotte's car drive away, Mr. Church felt completely hollowed out. It was like a father watching his child go far away, full of care and loneliness. And Charlotte couldn't help but turn around, afraid that if she looked back too long, she might never leave. A college 3,000 kilometers away marked the beginning of a new journey. Life was now full of colors. Fortunately, Charlotte never slacked off. She kept all her grades very well. The most exciting part for her during that period was receiving Mr. Church's handwritten letters each week during his long commute, and a precious book he wrote just for her. In the blink of an eye, Charlotte reached graduation. Following the address on one of the letters, she found Mr. Church's current residence. When he saw Charlotte suddenly appear in front of him, Mr. Church was completely surprised. Charlotte's slightly bulging stomach made Mr. Church's eyes sparkle, but he didn't say much. He still prepared Charlotte's favorite food, just like he did in the past. Charlotte noticed he needed a place to rest, so she offered to stay for a few days. Mr. Church agreed. At the same time, he made a seemingly simple but meaningful request, that they not interfere in each other's privacy, just like the old days when they lived together. For Charlotte, being able to return to Mr. Church again brought back that familiar and warm feeling, but one thing kept circling in her heart. Every Wednesday and Saturday night, Mr. Church always left after nightfall. Each time he returned, he was completely drunk. But the next morning he would prepare breakfast as usual, as if the night before had never happened. This made Charlotte's curiosity grow stronger. So one night when Mr. Church went out again, she quietly opened his door and stepped inside. But fate always seems to play tricks. Just moments after she entered, Mr. Church unexpectedly returned and caught her in the act. Charlotte tried to explain, but Mr. Church, blinded by anger, didn't listen. Despite Charlotte's special condition as a pregnant woman, he pulled her out of the room without hesitation. After a fierce argument, his anger took over. Mr. Church drove Charlotte out of the house. With nowhere else to go, Charlotte got into her car and began driving aimlessly through the streets. In the end, exhausted and helpless, she had no choice but to spend the long and difficult night in the car. Charlotte got up and bought breakfast from a nearby convenience store. But just as she stepped outside, a boy on a skateboard rushed toward her and knocked her to the ground. Fortunately, a neighbor who had once taught her to drive happened to be nearby. He rushed her to the hospital in time. Luckily, both Charlotte and the baby she was carrying were safe. Just as the doctor was explaining precautions to her, a familiar figure rushed into the room. In the middle of that intense moment, Charlotte and Mr. Church soon reconciled. Although the baby hadn't been born yet, Mr. Church firmly believed it would be a girl. Charlotte had once been curious about what Mr. Church did in his daily life. Now she knew. Mr. Church had a large garden. If he wasn't tending to the backyard, he was painting. If not painting, he was cooking. If not cooking, he was playing the piano. And now his life had a new rhythm, regularly reading stories to Charlotte's belly. Every Wednesday and Saturday night, Mr. Church would still go to Jilly Bar. He never said where he was going, and Charlotte never asked. Each time she would silently place the matchbox back into the drawer. Then, one night, Charlotte's belly began reacting, just as Mr. Church had predicted. It was indeed a girl. They named their daughter Isabel. Nothing had changed, and yet, seems like everything had changed. Everything now revolves around Isabel. Time quietly slips away in those warm, peaceful days. Graduation feels like a distant memory. Charlotte no longer focused on finishing her thesis. She had become a mother, and Mr. Church, he had become everything but a traditional father. Day and night passed quickly. Isabel grew up in the blink of an eye. She was already as big as Charlotte once was. As a family, their favorite thing was dancing together. Today, they were getting ready to attend a celebration. It was Lassen's wedding. He had met the love of his life at a cocktail party, and they had walked the journey of life together ever since. Charlotte felt deeply grateful to Lassen. If it weren't for him, Isabel might not be here today. After Lassen finally overcame his inner demons, he also found a beautiful life for himself. Charlotte had always been curious about why Mr. Church never got married. He didn't have to explain, but he did. He said that because of pressure from his father, he got married once when he was young. The woman was lovely, but the marriage didn't last. Mr. Church came to believe that marriage simply wasn't meant for him. Charlotte sighed. The last time she had danced like this was back at her graduation party. She hadn't seen what was coming. That day, Mr. Church gave Charlotte a big surprise. He found her long-lost best friend. It had been years. Her best friend had changed a lot. She stepped out of a long luxury car, dressed in elegant, expensive clothes. It turned out that her best friend had truly become a fashion designer, just like she always dreamed. Now she was surrounded by admirers and success. Now she's been married twice. And everything about her parents and her sister has been completely forgotten by her best friend. Her relationship with her family was totally cut off. Her best friend really likes Isabel. She had many scars on her stomach and was almost unable to get pregnant again. Her best friend no longer cared about anything else. She had endless amounts of money. She also knew many wealthy and attractive men. She wanted to introduce all of these men to Charlotte, or send Isabel to a top private school. That way, Charlotte could escape this small town. She wouldn't have to be a low-end waitress anymore. She could stay far away from that little chef. Mr. Church didn't work for us. He saved us. Now, I may not have some fancy life, but I work hard, and I'm raising my baby. She's my diamond, Poppy. Sorry if it doesn't sparkle enough for you. Charlotte's words hit Poppy's heart like a heavy hammer. She was deeply moved. Not long after, Poppy seemed to realize the meaning behind what she had said. She sent a gift of apology, filled with guilt. It wasn't just toys for Isabel, but also a pair of precious diamond earrings. On the note attached to the gift, there was a warm message. "You will always be my most precious diamond." Seeing this, Charlotte smiled with relief. But that night, Mr. Church got drunk again. He was very drunk. He sat there in a daze. Fortunately, Charlotte rushed to him and helped him to bed. In the end, Mr. Church was still muttering nonsense as he slowly drifted to sleep. The next morning, Charlotte came into the kitchen like she always did. She was about to greet Mr. Church, but she noticed something unusual. There was no sound coming from the kitchen. It made her uneasy. She hurried to Mr. Church's room. She saw Mr. Church lying weakly on the bed. His face was pale. Seeing this, Charlotte had an idea. She asked Mr. Church to have a good rest. Then she went to the kitchen and made breakfast. She realized that Mr. Church was old. Now it should be her turn to take care of him. After a warm dance, Mr. Church told Isabel a meaningful story. As he told the story, Mr. Church's eyes softened, and Charlotte, who secretly heard this story by the window, was full of tears at that moment. She knew that the boy in the story was Mr. Church. The two of them had given Mr. Church the love of a family, but Mr. Church had also given them the warmth of a home. Every night after that, Charlotte often brought books for Mr. Church, just like Mr. Church had once taken care of her mother before her death. That warm story became like a beam of light in their hearts. However, when Charlotte finished speaking, Mr. Church asked her to stay because he didn't want to be alone. Seeing the loneliness and helplessness in his eyes, Charlotte promised to stay. The next morning, when Mr. Church had left forever, her face was calm, as if she had only fallen asleep. Charlotte looked at Mr. Church's quiet face. She knew that the boy who was once afraid of many things had finally found the flea in his heart. At Mr. Church's funeral, an older man came to pay his respects. He said with sadness that Mr. Church had been the pianist at his bar. He used to play beautiful, touching music there. Only at that moment did Charlotte realize that Mr. Church hadn't just come to their home to cook. He had come to care for the family. After the funeral, Charlotte came to Mr. Church's room with a heavy heart. She found a letter from Mr. Church inside a box. His name was written on it. "Dear Charlotte, I know you think I only took care of you and your mother when you were sick. Yet you haven't returned, but you gave me the most important thing life can offer." Charlotte's tears fell once again, blurring her vision as she read the letter. The love and warmth Mr. Church had given them would always remain in their hearts. Thank you for watching till the end. Like and subscribe for more.